Hello and welcome back to part 3. I assume you already watched part 1 and part 2, and if you didn't, feel free to stop this video and start from the beginning because you don't want to miss out any information. Alright, so we already designed the inserts, we already designed them, and now it's time to print everything and assemble everything. So remember when we designed it, I told you guys to color everything by the color cardstock that you are going to be using so you don't get confused when it's time to cut. Before you do anything, I highly recommend right clicking and duplicate the ones that you design, because when you are ready to assemble them, you want to make sure you can look at them and know where every piece goes. So I always do this as a reference. So I'm just going to duplicate it. And we are only going to cut out the shaker letters, and then part 4 will be for the M and the N. Those are not shaker letters. Okay, so I'm gonna leave it here so then when I cut everything out, I know where everything goes. Now, if you forgot, in part 1 I told you guys that make sure that your media size is your paper size that you are going to be cutting. If you don't remember, you go to your paper icon, which is the first icon on your right. You're going to click on media size, and I'm going to select 12 by 12 because that is the size cardstock that I'll be using. Then I'm going to start with the letter A. I am going to grab at least 3 pieces and bring them to my mat. And then I'm going to go to my send panel on my upper right corner. I am going to set up on my settings. I like to cut on blade 6, force of 28, and speed of 4. I am going to send it to cut. If it doesn't cut all the way, because I'll be using 100-pound cardstock, I do not unload the mat. I will see if everything cut through, and if it didn't, I will send again. Do not unload the mat. I repeat, do not unload the mat, because if you do, it's going to not cut exactly where it cut before. All right. Once that cuts, you are going to bring in the other pieces, cut that out, and you are left with this A right here. And for you to maximize cardstock so you don't waste cardstock, because I am gonna cut out the insert in purple as well, but
you are going to see that the insert does not fit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start grabbing all the letters that I designed, and I'm going to start ungrouping everything and put everything into sections of what all I'm going to cut in purple, what all I'm going to cut in pink, what everything I'm going to do a print and cut, so I know what I'm going to cut out of each color. Now remember, I said I was going to cut out this shell so it can give it a 3D effect inside. So right here, what you see me doing is I'm right clicking and duplicating the shell, because I'm actually going to leave that image inside of the background. So when I print and cut the other shell, I know exactly where to glue that shell inside. And I'm going to repeat the same steps with the stars as well. It's going to make more sense when I print everything and start gluing it. I just left it there so I know where all the images go, but I'm still going to do a print and cut for the ones that I duplicated, as you see. After I duplicated those images, you see me here, I am going to right click and group that entire background of the A with the shell, with the stars and the fishes inside, because I am going to print that out exactly like that. Then here you will see me ungrouping the shell and ungrouping the stars, so I can put every section. I'm going to do a section of print and cut. I'm doing a section of all the gold that I'm going to be cutting out of gold cardstock, and so on. Okay, just follow along. Now, please don't get confused of what I'm doing here with the shell and the stars. I just want a 3D effect inside of my shaker, okay? Okay, now here you see all my different sections. I have a print and cut section, I have a gold section, teal, purple, pink, and holographic. Now when I said save on paper is, you see that I still have that purple A on my mat. Go ahead and start adding all the purple pieces that you are able to fit in that piece of paper so you don't waste on cardstock. Okay, and if you have more letters to cut out, wait till you design all your letters and start adding all the pieces that you are going to cut out of that specific color, again, because you need to save on cardstock, guys. Once you are ready to do a print and cut, don't forget you need to go to your first icon on your right. It's called a page setup. You're going to turn on your registration marks where it says thickness. You're going to go all the way up and you're going to go to your first option, and where it says media size, change it to 8 by 11 because that is the paper size you are going to be printing on. Then start adding as many images as it fits on that 8 by 11 piece of paper. Now when doing a print and cut, don't forget that none of your images should be touching none of those black registration marks, because then you're going to mess up your images. And also everything has to stay inside of that red rectangle, because everything that's inside of the red rectangle is what the cutting machine is going to cut. Anything that's outside of that red rectangle, you're going to have to manually cut it. Once you're satisfied on how the paper looks, you're going to go click on the printer icon to print out your images. You're going to select the printer that you're going to be printing on. Then I'm going to click on preferences. I am going to print from the back. I'm going to click paper tray, select the document size 8 by 11, and where it says paper type, I'm going to select premium presentation paper matte. That is the settings that I like to print on. I'm going to click on OK and print. Once I'm done printing, I am going to put my paper on my mat, load my mat to my machine, and then I'm going to go to the send panel and I'm going to send to cut. Once you are done cutting, you're going to click back on the design tab. You are going to move everything over. Don't forget to turn off your registration marks. You're going to click back on the paper page setup and turn off registration marks. Now, if you want your machine to also cut out your acetate sheets, don't forget to click on the first letter, not the one with the little shapes, the regular letter. You're going to click on it, right click and duplicate it, and then let your machine cut out that shape for your acetate sheet. If you want to save that as a part of your template, just go ahead and click on that letter and change it to a different color so you know that's for your acetate sheets. Also, it is my personal preference that every time I print something, I like to add a backing behind my images so it can be thicker. And all you have to do is put in all your images back on your mat. Don't forget to change your paper size to 12 by 12 again. This is not going to be a print and cut. I'm just going to add all those images back on the mat and just send to cut as a regular cut with cardstock. I'm not printing them. I'm just want that shape to get cut out of cardstock so I can glue it behind my print and cut. And I also do this with a lot of other shapes that even if they're not a print and cut, I want it to be thicker, and that's just me. So I know it's going to be a lot of pieces, but even that thin eye right there, I will cut out a second piece so it can be thicker. The tail of the mermaid, the seahorse, all of that, I will cut 2 out of each so I can put another piece in the back. You don't have to do that, but I do. All right, once you are done cutting out all your pieces, then we are going to get ready to start cutting everything and gluing everything. Now again, if you have a Cricut and you did all this inside of Silhouettes and you want to be able to cut it out with Cricut, all you have to do is save this as an SVG. Now, do not forget that you cannot save those images as an SVG because it's going to come out black. So I recommend saving them as a PNG, all the images, bring them into Cricut as a PNG, and remember the sizes of all the images so everything looks out perfect if you are going to do it with Cricut. Now I'm going to show you all the supplies that I'll be using to assemble these letters.
Okay, for your supplies, you're going to need foam tape. This is to give it the 3D effect. I got these from Dollar Tree. They come 3 in a pack. This is foam mounting tape in the automobile section at Dollar Tree, and they come in individual rectangles. But you can use any of your choice. You just need to get something to give it that 3D effect. They also have these foam squares at Dollar Tree, but if you don't have a Dollar Tree near you, you can also find them on Amazon or any other craft store. To glue my acetate, I love to use double-sided 3M tape. This is the brand that I love to use when I'm doing acetate for my acetate sheets, and you can get that from Amazon. You're going to need your shakers. If you have a store near you called Tuesday Morning, this is where I got this one from, but you can get shaker like sequins and stuff like that. They also call table scatters at Party City, but you can find them on Amazon, Dollar Tree, and any other craft store. Any embellishments of your choice. These are the table scatters that they have at Party City. So each theme at Party City, like let's say every category, like every character has its own table scatters. I got this container from Harbor Freight. If you have a tool store called Harbor Freight, it has 24 little containers, so I put all my sequins in here. Also, like I said, your embellishments, your flat backs, if you are adding any of those. You can find any embellishments on Amazon, Walmart, wherever. I'll be using sea beads. I got these at Joann's. If you haven't watched my cake topper tutorial, in that video I go into depth of like how all the supplies and what's my favorite brand and all that. So if you haven't watched the cake topper video, feel free to go ahead and watch that. It's the 3D shaker cake topper. I show a lot of supplies there. Okay, I'm going to be using these flat marbles from Dollar Tree just to give the letters some weight so they can stay standing. But you can use anything of your choice that goes inside that's just going to weigh it down, right? So I'm just going to glue these in the bottom of my letters. Your cardstock, you're going to use any cardstock of your choice. I like 110-pound cardstock just because it's more sturdy. And you're going to get 12 by 12 or 8 by 11. If you get 8 by 11, you know your letters are going to be smaller. I'll be using 12 by 12. But this is just metallic gold cardstock from Amazon. If you don't know by now, but my favorite brand of cardstock is Basil. And I get this one at Joann's, but Create for Less also has them. I'll link that below as well. And this is thicker cardstock. I also like Cardstock Warehouse, and I get this one from Amazon, but they also have their own website. And this is Basil. You're gonna get all the colors of your choice. All right, you're going to use probably glitter cardstock if you want to bring more into your letters. So this is just glitter cardstock. You can find glitter cardstock anywhere. And this is no specific weight. Like I told you guys, if it's too thin, I'll back it up with another piece of cardstock, and that's where I'll use the 8 by 11 cardstock. You could get these packs from Michaels, and then because if the cardstock is too thin, I'll cut another piece of just any random color to glue it in the back so it could be more sturdy. These are from Michaels, so just go ahead, depending on the theme that you're doing, go grab all your cardstocks, metallic, glitters, and you are going to need your acetate sheets. People call it clear film. I call it acetate. This is the brand that I like to use from Amazon.
and the 0.5 or 0.3. The only difference is that the 0.5 is thicker than the 0.3. You're also going to need glue of choice. I have my own brand of glue, Andrena's Creations Craft Glue. Usually is in stock and usually is not in stock, so just go ahead and check on my website, andrenascreations.com, to see if they are in stock. But you can use any other glue of your choice as well. And if I use anything else throughout the video, I will for sure let you know where I get it from. So now let's start putting everything together. All right, so we finished cutting and printing everything out. So I have all the 3 shaker letters here. I'm going to assemble one in slow motion, and then the rest I'm going to fast forward because there's a lot of pieces. Again, I want to repeat this. Everybody works different. I like to back up my items, so that's why you're probably going to see more pieces than usual, but because I like mine to be sturdy. Let's start building the foundation first. So again, for the A, you had 4 pieces. Gonna put the insert on the side, and you're just going to grab 1A. Don't forget to leave the actual template on your computer so you know where everything goes. All right, so as you can see, this has a circle cutout, and you're going to look on your computer and see where will this start. So I see on the computer it's going to start here on the top. You are going to start folding all your score marks. I'm just gonna fold the bottom one first, and then I'll fold the top ones later. Okay, now I like to glue on the bottom. You don't have to do that. You can start gluing from the top. All right, I'm going to glue it like this. I'm going to put my letter on top, and I know these pieces you're going to be able to see it in the back, and that's why I have an extra A to cover it. Now you don't want to cut another A to cover the back, then glue it from the inside and then go around. All right, I feel like for me it's more comfortable to go on the top like this. All right, so you're gonna add your glue. Make sure you line it correctly. If you do not line it correctly, the end result is not going to look professional. Start going with the curves. Make sure that every corner it's where it's supposed to be at. And then I like to go with my bone folder and just press. Grab your other piece and fold your score marks, and look where this piece belongs. Again, like I said, just look at the little different shapes on your computer. This one's going to go here. It's going to curve that way. And then this tab is going to get glued there. Then I glue the tabs together. Now I'm going to glue the back of the A. Now on the back, you can even put glitter cardstock, metallic. You're gonna do whatever. I'm just gonna leave it plain, the same color cardstock that I already cut out. Now grab your insert. Again, you can leave it just like this, but I'm gonna add my insert and I'm going to fold all my score marks going up. If y'all hear that bell, guys, if y'all don't know, that is my cat Prince. Oh Lord, guys, for me rushing, I totally forgot to put the inside, so I'm just gonna glue it in the inside of the letter. Usually, you know, I put this under, but because I already glued the back, I can't put it under, so I just glued it together like this, and then I folded these up, and then I'm just gonna add it right here, making sure everything's aligned correctly. All right, now that you folded everything up from your insert, I did not fold these tabs down yet, so everything could be straight up. You're going to put in your inserts, okay? I do want to say, when you add the insert, it is going to feel like it's kind of tight, but as long as you assemble the letter correctly, it should fit in really good. Once you put your insert, you're going to grab your tab and you are going to, let me see. So this is the original letter. You're going to grab the insert tab and you're going to glue it right under the score mark. Do not put it above the score mark, right under it, because you need to be able to let this fold. So right under the score mark, and you're going to go all around and do the same thing all over. Okay, just go around carefully, like I said, and glue all your tabs. And don't get frustrated, just go one tab at a time, aligning it all correctly, okay? This is also why I say I highly recommend thicker cardstock, so it could stay really sturdy and it's not going to be looking all crumbled up and like it's about to fall apart, when, because you're gonna have to insert. This insert is the same size as the letter, so you're gonna have to do a little bit of wiggle room. If the cardstock's too thin, it's gonna break on you, all right? So the insert, it's very good in there. Now we need to glue the inside of, if you did print out an image for it, if you're gonna leave it just like that, leave it just like this, but I am going to add the image inside. You can also add the image first on the insert and then add the insert to the letter. You can do whatever you want, okay? Don't press down so hard that you're going to break, you know, the insert, and pressing down and then everything just comes apart. Remember, this is still paper. Make sure that all your corners are glued down. And remember, I told you guys that I wanted to have my shell 3D. So I'm going to glue my image on top of my offset, or you could do pop dot so it could be 3D, but I'm just gonna like that, and then I'm gonna put it 3D in here. All right, so I'm just gonna actually do a 3D. I already put a piece of tape in between my offset and my shell, and I'm going to do the same thing with the stars. Start adding the embellishments that you want to glue inside. You don't have to, but it gives it an extra touch. And this is a wax pen. I'll link it down below as well. And this is what I'm going to use to pick up my beads. Now you have two different options. You can glue your acetate on top of, like, just put down your tabs. And then glue your acetate on top, right? But if you're gonna go this route, don't forget to put all your shakers inside, right? I don't want to do that because, again, I'm like so extra and I always want to make sure that everything is sturdy. That this piece, I cut out two pieces of this, and I'm going to glue this one here, and then I'll put my acetate up top. So I'm gonna put this piece here and this piece here. All right, I'm gonna glue this first. And again, because I am rushing, because this is an actual order that I have to hurry up and ship, I totally forgot a step, but I'm gonna let y'all know that before y'all put this layer in, the insert, don't forget to glue your marbles inside. So you're gonna glue one marble there and one marble here, and this is gonna make sure that your letters stay standing. Because this one already has a lot of stuff going on and I'm gonna put shakers and stuff, it's not gonna be so bad that I didn't add the marbles, but don't forget to add the marble. All right, so I added my this piece on top, and don't forget that make sure that you glue everywhere very good. Don't leave no holes or anything, because then your shaker parts are gonna come out. If you like this look without even the acetate and looks like kind of like a little shadow box, you can leave it like this too and add more elements all around. It's sort of up to you. You can design them however you want. All right, so now I'm going to add my shaker parts and add the double-sided tape on top of here so we could put the acetate on top. Now I did cut out an extra piece to go behind my gold just so it could be thicker, so I'm gonna glue this together. I put double-sided tape there because remember this is acetate and I'm gonna glue this part on top. Then I'm going to glue this part on top of the gold. I then started gluing all the pieces that I cut out for the tail. So remember I cut 2 pieces for each side of the tail, glued it together, put foam tape in between each tail, put it together. Then I added hot glue on the bottom of the foam tape because we see that the A has glitter cardstock on top. So I'll put a little bit of hot glue on the bottom of the foam tape so it can adhere to the glitter, and then I'll put the tail on top of the A. Now you are going to see me assemble the other 2 letters, but I am going to speed up the process. Also, don't forget the tabs, glue it in the inside and not in the outside. So you know 2 pieces connect together. Always glue the tabs in the inside because if you glue the tabs on the outside, you are going to see it on the finished look. So you see that those 2 pieces that go around the A, you see that they connected together. They have to be glued on the inside. Also here you'll see me gluing the marbles inside. I did forget to do it on the first A, but here I'm showing you where the marbles go. Don't forget, every time you are gluing on top of the glitter, use a little bit of hot glue to make sure that the foam is getting adhered very good on that glitter. Alright guys, so here it is, all 3 shaker letters. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please comment down below and comment other videos or tutorials you would like to see from me. Don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell to get notified every time I upload new videos. And also please give me a big thumbs up. I'm going to show you a close-up on how they turned out. Comment down below which one you like better. I honestly think that they all came out beautifully. Also, don't forget to stay tuned in because I'm going to be showing you how to design the M and the N. These are not going to be shakers, so even for beginners you can start off without making them as a shaker so you can get more comfortable on doing paper letters. As always, don't forget that I always tell you guys I hope everyone's having a blessed day, and stay tuned for part 4.